On this episode of Bantha Milk Podcast, Nick chimes in from the doorbell.
Ding dang dong.
Intro music.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into the lore of the ding dang dong that I just
Ding
did.
dang
Because
dong.
that would take us down a whole nother rabbit hole that I think we'd lose anyone who listens here. But we're here.
We're here.
Rob's beard is here. I am
Yes.
here. Bantha Milk is here. Rob is drinking whiskey, which doesn't happen often.
No. Wah, wah, wah. Rob is out of beer.
Rob is out of beer, but he's not out of beard.
Nope. I just even just smelling it, I'm
well,
like,
the problem is it's the tall glass.
yeah.
So it has a lot of time for that smell to just kind of like
It
get
sure
right up
does.
in your sinuses.
As you're tilting, it's just like you can't breathe.
not if you're not a whiskey guy for sure.
And then the feeling of the burn going
It's the
down.
best. No, it's the warm you get right here.
Yep.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
So Bantha Milk has happened. Now it's time to podcast.
It sure has.
How are you, Robert?
Wonderful. How are you, Nicholas?
I'm doing all right.
Yay.
Or I should call you Bob, right?
Bob.
It always makes me laugh to think that you used to go by Bob.
Used to go by Bob. If you
That's
watch me on Double Dare,
Family, was it
just
Double
regular
Dare?
Double Dare.
That's right, because Family Double Dare was a whole thing.
It was a whole other thing.
That was
Season
later.
1. Somebody actually brought it up on Friday as we were leaving school, and I was like, "Oh, you can watch it on Paramount Plus." And I pulled it up to find it, and I was like, "I know it's pretty far into season 1, but because I stopped it throughout the episode, it was like right there."
Oh, it found it for
yeah.
you.
So season 1, episode 43.
Yes.
If you want to see me as a 8th grader on Double Dare.
That's right. Season 1, episode 43 of Double Dare on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus.
Little Bobby Spear.
Yep.
You did pretty good, I recall, right?
I lost, but we did okay.
It looked like you did all right. You
we
handled
had
yourself.
fun. Yeah, I handled myself okay.
Anyway, we're not here to talk that come to our Double Dare podcast.
That's right. We're gonna have Mark Summers himself on.
If only he does podcast quite. I
He
feel like I
does.
see him talk on podcasts.
He's on. Because he had a whole Food Network thing going.
Yeah.
He's like a producer of a lot of Food Network.
He was
shows
the
and stuff.
Unwrapped guy.
Yes.
I love Unwrapped.
Yes.
Was like my favorite show because it's like how it's made,
Right.
which I also love, but for food, which I like
Yes.
more than most things.
What was the other one? Alton Brown had his like
Good Eats.
Good Eats.
Yeah.
I loved Good Eats because that was like really digging deep into like the science of it and all kinds of really cool stuff.
If I'm ever looking for like a recipe or something and I find like I stumble across something that has Alton Brown's name on it, I'm like, all right, this is a good
This
recipe.
is it. This is a good
This will
recipe.
do. I'll do it. Every year I do his Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh, nice.
It's super simple, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but delicious.
Oh, it's absolutely. You don't need anything else.
Nope.
I think I also use his whenever I think it's been years since I made one, but like when I make a prime rib,
Okay.
I also use his, which is again, I think it's just like
prime
salt.
rib.
Oh, man, I'm hungry.
Steak.
Yeah.
One
we just had a moment of
stop thinking of
silence. We were just
steak.
thinking about steak.
On this episode of Star Wars, we talk about food.
Oh man, I
That would
do
be
like
good.
food. We should do a.
I have a book,
Star Wars recipes.
Star Wars recipes. Yeah, I got it.
Well, you should. Here's the deal. Next time we
mm.
come, you will have already made us a delightful treat out
There
of the
we go.
Star Wars,
Out of
or
the
like
Star Wars.
6.
Yep.
And then we'll sample them all.
We'll
Or you know
s-
what?
yeah.
You have Cameron here. You can pay her to do it.
I would love to. She would argue with me about it, but I'm going to try anyway. So there we go. Before we start, I have some news. We're going to get into that, and then we're going to do some kind of a breakdown of the whole season of Skeleton Crew.
Some kind of a breakdown. That's like what I have every 3 days.
That is.
Hey.
All of the episodes, in my opinion, were above average, so it's going to be hard to rank them best to worst. But I will say this: Wawa Pizza got a 2.8.
I mean, is anyone shocked?
No, not
Wawa
even a
Pizza
little bit.
sucks.
It's so bad.
Like I love Wawa. It's
Yeah.
like when I lived in Illinois for 2 years and Louisiana for 3. I talked about Wawa like it's like anything. And even in Portnoy's review of Wawa Pizza, he mentions Casey's General Store.
Okay.
He's like, oh, people defend Wawa just like Casey's General Store. Casey's is out in Illinois, and Casey's sucks.
Okay.
All right. Like if we have any followers out in the Midwest, I apologize. Casey's doesn't hold a candle to Wawa. Like now, I know there's going to be people out there who will fight me about Sheetz versus Wawa, and that is an argument I can respect.
Okay.
All right. Those are pretty cool, but
Yeah.
no Casey's. Anyway, I
Anyway,
love me some Wawa, but it's like, listen, I would imagine Wawa pizza tastes okay, but like I can't like. Did anyone expect that to blow his mind?
no, and like it's if anybody who doesn't live near us or in Florida or all the way up and down the East Coast now where there are Wawas, um, they say, "Oh, it's just gas station food," but it's not because it started out as a convenience store
Right,
first,
first, yeah.
and then they said, "Hey, we can make a lot more money if we sell gas also." So it's not gas station food, which is where Portnoy was a little wrong because he was like, "Oh,
Right.
well, it's gas
But
station
like
food."
that's kind of anyone who didn't grow up like
Right?
near Wawa.
Yeah.
That's what they respond when you talk to them about Wawa.
Hmm.
They're like, "Oh, it's just a gas station." It's like, no,
No,
you don't get
no,
it. And it's
yeah,
like you could explain it as much as you want. Like, no, but they have like really good food.
right.
And it's like, okay, but like they have like a deli. You order for like, you don't get
Yeah,
it.
and back in the day, I used to work at a Wawa.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and we had a whole deli. Like people would
sure.
come in just to get like half a
Half a pound
pound
of
of
white
lunch
American
meat.
cheese
Yeah,
or something. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So
yeah, I'm
that
talking about a lot of food today.
yes, I know. I forget where we were going with Wawa, but
You used to work there.
oh, I used to work there. Yeah, I don't know whatever else. Oh, but before we continue, we need to plug all the rest of our shows here on the Ears Up Network.
Sure, there's spatulas with Steve,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have the spatula
Yep,
hour where we
the
talk all
Spatula Hour.
spatulas. We've got flamenco dancing podcast where we teach you via voice how to dance the flamenco.
Yes,
Challenging without the
without the
video.
video and the tutorial there.
And of course taxidermy,
Mhm.
taxidermy,
That's a good one.
where
Yeah.
we talk about taxidermy.
Yes.
But what are the other ones?
The rest of them are scraping the vault.
Oh, no, I forgot about these ones.
Yes, these are the ones you forgot about. The Supreme Resort, where they compare scraping the vault. They review all the old straight to video release movies. The Supreme Resort, where they compare Disneyland versus Disney World rides and stuff like that. Puny Pod, they're all Marvel. And Buena Vista Boys, they do the same thing that Scraping the Vault does, but just of all of the old um, Disney live movies, like movies of real people and stuff like that from the
Sure.
60s and 70s and stuff. And then, of course, the main show, Ears Up, which was recorded last night, as we are now recording on a Saturday night. They recorded on last Friday night. So it will be out soon. But in that one, Taryn did a really fun game where she did Guess the Bleep, and she got clips from all of the shows, including ours.
Like all the okay.
Yeah,
and bleeped
and
things
bleeped
out.
out things, and then we had people had to guess what was bleeped out, and then they started at because we're East Coast time, 11 o'clock East Coast time last night. I stayed up for like a half an hour and then fell asleep. But the one she said it was from one of the Skeleton Crew episodes, and I don't remember. I said something about Jod doesn't like SM33 because he thinks he's blank or something like that. And then they do it on Twitch live.
Yeah.
And I didn't subscribe yet. There's some weird way you can subscribe for free through your Amazon Prime or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that. So right as they're going through the answer for ours, my feed went to a commercial.
Oh, great.
So all I know is I came back.
You waited up for that.
Yeah, I came back out of the commercial and they're like, he didn't even know what he said himself, blah, blah, blah.
Great.
Because I was in the chat, I
Yep.
wrote a word and apparently it was the wrong word. So I don't remember what I said, but you can check it out over there on the Ears Up.
This is an excellent plug for it because
Yes,
we're talking about it and I'm like, well, he's going to give away the answer, but he did not.
I did
right?
not.
So
And
spoiler-free
also,
zone here.
if you are listening to us on the Ears Up YouTube page, because our feed is going over there as well, and you want to see our faces, you want to see Walt Fisheye Nick over there.
Fisheye Nick. That's what they used to call me.
That was his nickname.
Watch out for old Fisheye Nick.
Watch out for Fisheye Nick over there.
You don't stare him right in the fisheye.
That's right.
That's how he gets you.
That's how he gets you. You want to see that? Slide on over into our Bantha Milk podcast YouTube page, and
Slide
you
into
can
it.
watch us slide on over. And then as you slide over, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, say how Fisheye Nick looks, and there we go. So that's all the other shows. So please take a gander and listen to all of them. We have Oh, let's do our trivia. I also have these cards, which we did these before, but these are kind of hard. Um, ah,
Never mind. I was gonna say something, but I decided not to.
um, so if you look at this picture,
Hey,
you have to figure out what this
is the thing
picture
on top
is.
part of it?
Yes. So this and that all equals something. Nick is so close to the camera. You totally. Oh, that's going in the shorts.
I'm sure it is. What is that? Hold on. I'm not gonna look at the back.
Don't look at the back.
All right.
I can never figure these out, but
Oh, okay. So it's a mouth eating a cookie, and now I'm just showing the answer to the everyone out there.
so now everybody else knows.
It's Chewbacca.
There you go,
Okay.
Chewbacca.
Chew back. A. I see. Yeah,
Right.
man. I need some binoculars over here.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna get a nice close up of my schnoz. That's what everyone needs. This is
All
why.
right.
This is why it's called podcasting. I've got a face for radio. Go ahead.
There we go. All right. So here's another next one.
Okay, so that's like a planner.
A planner.
And the month of May.
And the month of May. A planner and the month of May. Planner in the month of May. But it's not a planner.
It's a book. It's an organizer. It's a
note.
It's a note book May. It's a note. I don't know. What is it?
It's a pad.
Padmé. It's
Padmé.
Oh
It's
my
Padmé.
Gosh. Note Padmé.
Note Padmé. All right. And here's the last
good,
one.
actually.
Yeah.
I really dig that.
Oh dear. I don't
Oh
know.
dear.
Okay, I see it now. Now that I know the answer, I can see this. So
okay, so point it towards me. Is that glue?
It doesn't matter what's in.
Oh, it's Jar Jar
side of-
Blinks.
There we go.
That's
Jar Jar
right.
Blinks.
Jar
Very
Jar
good.
Blinks.
Jar Jar, 2 jars and some blinking. Jar Jar Binks. Very good, Nick.
I try.
You did way better with those than I would ever do. That's for sure.
This one I just couldn't tell what the hell they were trying to depict with this cookie eating
Yeah.
nonsense. Anyway.
All right, and now for our Mandalorian questions,
I'm
which,
ready.
by the way, the answer for the last one, if you check out our shorts,
yeah, we're starting to get our TikTok set up now that it's somehow, I guess, legal again.
Legal
or not
again.
legal.
Yeah,
but
the guy
okay,
who was trying to ban it then said no, it's okay.
Orange Man say thing. Anyway,
Cheetos fingers said it's all right. So here's our next 4 questions from the Mandalorian.
that guy.
The child to 1 point question. A loth cat startles which character at the common house on Sorgon? A loth cat startles which character at the common house on Sorgon? The child, Sorgon Frog, or the Mandalorian?
The child.
The child is the correct answer. Ding, ding, ding.
That was 100% a guess. I don't remember there being a loth cat, and I don't remember because I remember the loth cat. When I think of the loth cat, I think of Sabine's loth cat in Ahsoka, right? Didn't she have a pet loth cat? I love it.
Maybe, or yeah,
that's the one I remember.
Yeah, because
so
I think it was like what's his name? The other Jedi kid from Rebels. The young one, the one that they
Ezra.
I think it was Ezra's, and then she took it when Ezra went away.
Because that was where he used to live, right?
Yeah, he used to live. Yeah,
or whatever.
But this one, I remember this one. This is when they went into This is when they ran into Cara Dune for the first time. They went into that outside bar little thing, like it was like a hut bar in the jungle type thing.
Right.
And they came walking in, and then the loth cat was like, and the child was like, whoa.
Okay.
So yeah, that was
a rewatch.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty good. This 2-point question. What is in the middle of the Seeing Stone? What is in the middle of the Seeing Stone? A totem, a hemisphere, or a pyramid?
What is in the middle of the Seeing Stone?
In the Seeing Stone.
What the hell is the Seeing Stone?
I don't even know what the Seeing Stone is. I think that might be what the child.
See, because again, I thought Seeing Stone. I'm like, oh, that wasn't that thing from Ahsoka, but again, that's not. These are not Ahsoka thing cards or Mando cards. I don't know. What are the options?
The options are a totem, a
Totem,
hemisphere, and a
hemisphere. I'm
pyramid.
going with a totem.
You would be wrong.
I figured I would.
Yes, you had. Okay, so now you got a 50-50 shot, hemisphere or a pyramid.
It's a pyramid.
You got a 100% shot that you're going to get it right on the third try.
It's a cheeseburger.
It's a
I
cheeseburger.
nailed
It
it.
is a
I nailed that
hemisphere.
one.
You
What the
got
hell?
it.
What?
I don't know. Google seeing stone. See what it
Yeah,
is. I don't
I'm
even know
gonna
what it
do
is.
that. Seeing stone.
The seeing
I
stone.
think my phone might be in my car. Oh well.
Oh, no, that gives me a book by Kevin somebody or other. The Seeing Stone.
Star
No,
Wars.
Star Wars. You got to throw Star Wars at the end of it.
Anyway, this
That's
is riveting.
what-
Rob is
yes.
Googling right now. I'm going to give you a play-by-play.
Oh,
So he
okay.
typed it in.
I
He
typed
just
it in.
he's hit some sort of a realization. I could tell by the look on his face
It's-
and the fact that he just said "oh."
Yeah, the giant area that Mando put the child down on when he was trying to call for other Jedi.
That's right. It was,
I didn't realize they called that the Seeing
I
Stone.
forget. And what is a hemisphere that he put? I don't know.
He was sitting on the half hemisphere. This circle
Okay.
is where the
That was
child
when-
sat, and that's when all the blue
was-
light came down.
That was when Boba Fett.
And that's when we
came
ran
and-
into Boba
yeah.
Fett. Yes.
All right.
Okay. So
Man,
we
I
got
really
that one.
need a rewatch.
Yeah, those two were tough. All right. It's funny because my friend saw he and his husband were watching YouTube, and it said next up, and it was our last week's episode. And he was like, they're not Star Wars fans at all. So he was like, let's watch. Oh, there's trivia. Let's see. He goes, let's see how much trivia we know. And the very first question was, may the force be with. And he was like, I knew that.
I know
one.
this one. I'm on it, man. I
I'm
got this
on it.
unlocked.
So we had that last week, and now this week we have these impossible
Yeah,
questions.
What the hell, man?
What droid does Queel reprogram? This is a good one.
IG-11.
IG-11.
Is IG-88 an option on there?
No,
'cause that would-
BB-8,
of course.
R2D2, or IG-11.
Oh my god! Like, come on.
Yeah,
There's got to be
neither
a
of
middle
those.
ground
Yeah,
between like insultingly easy and impossible.
and impossible. And these are, yeah. So the 2-point question: what color are the child's nails? What color are the child's nails?
Are they not green?
White, black, or yellow are the three choices. White,
Going
black,
with
or
black.
yellow. He's around here somewhere.
He's up there. I can't see his nails from here.
Oh, he's back there behind it. Okay. Apparently, his nails are yellow. He has yellow nails.
Yellow nails, okay.
Apparently, I'm really good at knowing the color yellow. So there we go. There's our trivia questions for the day. We got some riddles, and then weird but true. Weird but true. The actor who was the voice of Ham in Toy Story films
Ham.
played a rebel officer in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Cliff Clavin
Cliff Clavin from Cheers. Right? Yeah.
was also in a rebel officer, in Star Wars The Empire
Yeah,
Strikes
you
Back.
know, he was a. I can't do
Hey,
a Cliff.
Normie.
That's a much better Cliff
Yeah.
than me.
What's shaking, Norm?
It's more your time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I watched more Frasier than Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Ewok makeup designers looked at the faces of Brussels Griffin dogs for inspiration.
Gryffindor?
That's where Brussels
Gryffindor?
Griffin dogs. No, Gryffindor. It's not Harry Potter. Harry Potter is based on Star Wars, not the other way around.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that dog there is the type of
I can
dog.
see it.
Yeah. I mean, I even think
Honestly,
like,
your little pups kind of remind me of Ewoks.
yeah, like my Lassapoos, they
What
have
are
a
they?
little face.
What's a Lassapoo?
Lassapoo.
What's a
It's a
Lhasa?
poodle and a Lhasa Apso.
I've never heard of a Lhasa Apso.
Yeah, that's another little dog.
It almost
with
sounds like a Velociraptor. A Velociraptor Lhasa Apso.
Velociraptor. Yes, all those words. Luke Skywalker's name was originally Luke
Starkiller.
Starkiller, but
Yeah.
George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, changed it on the first day of filming.
Yeah. And when Rob did they bring Starkiller back into Star Wars?
It was in Starkiller Base.
That is when they brought it back into canon. You're right.
Oh,
When did they bring it back into Legends?
was there? I'm guessing there was a book before that or a
No,
comic.
it was a
Was there-
video game.
A video game.
Yeah, so in the Force Unleashed series, you ever play the Force Unleashed? Oh,
Nope.
God.
Years ago, maybe, but
So the Force Unleashed is like it was released essentially as a video game that was like, hey, what if we took the Force and like cranked it up to 11? You know, like every Force power would be ridiculous.
okay.
And so they had two. They had the Force Unleashed 1 and 2. 1 was great, 2 sucked. But it was about this guy Galen Merrick,
I
who
remember that name.
yeah so he the actual the motion capture guy and the voice actor for it was the guy who voice acted Darth Maul in the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And so the whole premise of this video game is that Darth Vader finds this kid on Kashyyyk in like a Wookiee village who's like strong in the Force while he's like destroying it,
Okay.
and he like takes him as his secret apprentice as Darth. Well, his he's not a Darth, but he's Star Killer is his code name.
Okay.
And like the whole story starts with him like being an assassin and stuff, and then eventually he like gets betrayed by Vader and he turns to the good side and he becomes like one of the leaders or the founders of the Rebel Alliance.
Nice.
And like the like Rebel Alliance symbol
Okay.
was like supposedly we found out in this game was like, oh, it was his family crest that they based
Oh,
it on.
very
It was a whole
nice.
thing. But yeah, the second game sucked.
Second game
very
sucked.
bad. Good first game. I liked it a whole lot. But
Liked
yeah,
the first
there you go.
game. Didn't like
Star
the second
Killer
game.
twice
Star
in Star
Killer.
Wars.
There you go. Boom. All right. Now we got some Star Wars news. We haven't done this in a while.
Nailed it.
There we go. Nailed it. Good. Our
Gerald
first one.
Ford did today. And I'm gay. What? Wait. You think
what was
anyone
the
out there
other-
knows that one?
No, original. Well, you're talking original Star or original
SNL.
SNL. Yeah.
yeah.
Star Wars officially confirms new sequel to The Last Jedi.
Star Wars officially confirms sequel.
New sequel to The Last Jedi. We're finally getting an explanation of what
So-
happened in between the events of Star Wars Episode 8 and the Last Jedi and 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
So you just said Star Wars officially announces. Where are you getting this news?
This is from Gaming Bible.
Okay. Okay.
The Rise of Skywalker, starring Kylo Ren as he hunts down the survivors of Order 66. The new comic series is titled, so it's a comic book, Star Wars Legacy of Vader, which, as Arthur Charles Soule explains, is set as close as possible to the conclusion of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Kylo Ren is Supreme Lord Leader of the First Order. So it's set right after Episode 8. It literally picks up 5 seconds after Episode 8 ends.
Okay, so they just got in the Falcon. All the rocks just fell down to the ground.
Yep.
And Luke just died.
Yep. And they said the new series is set to kick off next month, February 5th. Kylo will be successful in hunting down a Jedi or two, although he remains tight-lipped about who exactly he may run into. Doesn't say how many episodes, but there we go. So there's a couple new comics that are coming out, which I love the fact that the comic comes out and people don't read everything clearly and think that it's a new movie coming out, and they start like throwing fits.
Yep.
But speaking,
comics are good though. I don't get into them enough, but every time I've gotten a Star Wars comic, I've really enjoyed them.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of movies, Ryan Gosling, that guy is in talks to join Star Wars. Screen Rant says, so here are the top 10 characters he'd be perfect to play. They think he would be good as Agent Callus. I love Agent Callus, by the way. He was the bad guy who turned good in Rebels.
Oh, he would be great.
I don't know if he would be good as Gosling would be him.
I do like Callus a lot. I'd love to see him come into live action.
Yeah.
I think he'd probably do. He's always done well in every role I've seen him in, so I don't know that he wouldn't do well. I don't know that I see it, but he'd have to be a young version of him, though. You know, it'd have to be like during that era.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, during Ahsoka. I don't know. Or they're making a new movie. Maybe he's going to be in that. Tak Renaud, they said, would be a good, because we don't even know what he looks like. The pirate leader that we just saw.
I was watching a video earlier today about like what he might be, and I think it's I can't remember off the top of my head, but whatever race Hondo is, that's like one of the theories that some people think, and then that would be kind of cool too, because then it could be kind of like a Dread Pirate Roberts sort of a thing, that like maybe this Tak Renaud is actually many different people, and that holo recording we saw was actually Hondo or something like that.
That's cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Ren, who first appeared in Star Wars Rise of Kylo Ren. It's from a comic book to play Kylo Ren, but maybe he could still play the Knights of Ren previous leader, simply known as the alias Ren.
That was the dude that Kylo killed. I mean, I would like to see anything more in between episode 6 and 7, like in live action, that actually has to deal with the Skywalker saga. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that era, it's the Luke era that they just decided, oh, we can't touch that.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
just show me more.
Just show me more. Stellan Gios from the High Republic. Gios.
Oh, Stellan Gios.
Yeah. Stellan Gios.
Oh, I'd love to see more High Republic stuff, but Stellan was he was like the rule follower of like, there was the 3 amigos of like the main character Jedi characters in the High Republic. There was the guy, the loose cannon, who
Avar Chris.
so Avar was like the little prodigy, like the Hermione Granger.
And Elzar Man.
Elzar was like the bad boy. He was like he like, there was a moment where he like tapped in the dark side. He was anyway, and him and her had like this
They
like,
had a thing going on
thing.
there. Yeah.
And then Stellan was like the noble Harry Potter guy.
Yeah, this is the even-tempered, kind, wise, and thoughtful Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like the poster child for the Jedi during that.
Yeah.
Because there was like, after the sacking of Coruscant or whatever, there was like this image that went over the HoloNet of him like crying, and
Okay.
Like, oh look, they're so compassionate. They're so anyway. Yes, I would love to see.
That'll be a good one. Darth Revan.
I mean, that's the one that people have been talking about for years. It's ridiculous we don't have him yet.
Yeah.
And everyone is saying Keanu Reeves should be him, and I agree.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go surfing, man.
Yeah, bro. You gotta join the light side, bro.
You gotta
the dark
join
sides.
Dark sides where all the cool kids hang out.
Bro.
Dark side, man. Let's go surfing, and then we'll go hang out with what was the other alien movie that he was in? The trilogy where he was The Matrix. That's it.
That's not. I guess that's not aliens. That's robots.
But
on Earth.
They're
Earth robots. We made them.
We made them.
They're not Mars robots.
Oh.
I don't think there's aliens.
Then who's flying the drones around here?
Listen, at this point, I don't think we'll ever find out.
We'll never find out. Kyle Katarn.
Kyle Katarn.
Yes, Kyle Katarn.
That's the guy who I originally named Kyle the Mandalorian after.
Yeah, there you go.
So he was like, in Legends, he was the guy. Like, he was the guy who like picked up the mantle and like helped start the new Jedi Order, and he was in all the video games, like the Dark Forces games and the Jedi Knight series. Yeah, he's cool.
Martian Rowe.
So that's the bad guy. In the High Republic series. He's a really interesting guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to see him.
Is an incredible, compelling character and would give Gosling a lot to chew on.
Wait, these are all for Ryan Gosling?
These are all like suggestions of Ryan Gosling could play.
Oh, I thought that these were just people. No, Ryan Gosling should not play any of these people. I'm thinking like, oh yeah, these would all be great. No,
they're great people, not for Ryan Gosling. That's funny. Junta Paul. Ajunta Paul.
That's like an ancient Sith Lord.
Right, from Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay, again, a great cat, but like, I don't understand why they want Ryan Gosling to play that person. Okay.
Taron Vizsla, the first Tar Vizsla,
the first Jedi,
the first Jedi Mandalorian, right. And Elzar Man.
Yeah, we already talked
in
about.
The High Republic.
Again, all people I want to see, but again, just reframing it as all being that guy. Okay.
Okay, if you say so.
More power to him. He's Ken, wasn't he? Ken.
Yeah, he was Ken.
All right, he did well.
He can.
Good for him.
Star Wars' newest comic will give Watto the death he deserves.
Oh.
So Star Wars.
Watto wasn't a good dude.
No. Marvel Turning Point is revealing a true teasing prayers from Legacy of Vader's second issue due out March by Marvel Star Wars editor Mark Pancino on social media today. Kylo apparently joined by Vader's former attendant Vinay, who has lopped his head off and put it in a droid body. Will venture to Tatooine in some capacity to explore Vader's history with his home planet and realize at some point he showed back up to pay Watto a violent visit. Dum dum dum. So if you didn't like Watto, you read the comic and he will get it.
I would hope that if you're listening to this podcast, you didn't like Watto.
Yeah.
If you looked at Watto as a character in episode 1 and thought, this slave owner, he seems like an upstanding fellow. If you're one of those people, maybe
this is what I want. I want to aspire to being just like Watto.
I want to. Yeah, no. Let's just reconsider your choices here.
All right, Collider, the website Collider. Sorry,
Collider.
Sorry, yeah, whatever. They stole our ranking from 2 weeks ago. Every Disney Plus Star Wars series ranked from worst to best.
Huh.
Now they also added in some comics in
Ugh,
there.
get out of
So
here with this
number
crap.
11, your favorite Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures.
And I don't even mind it that much. My daughter just doesn't like it.
It was
Maybe not.
cute. I watched a couple
Maybe
episodes to see what it was like.
it's been a while since I tried, and she's a lot more cognizant now. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll try again.
They ranked Book of Boba Fett number 10,
Yes.
and then number 9, The Acolyte.
Yes.
I would have flipped them.
Yeah, but again, like we said on our ranking things, like at that point it was like
Yeah,
the good ones and the bad ones.
and the bad ones. And Obi-Wan Kenobi all the way down an 8.
That doesn't shock me either. I think I like it a lot because of the big moments and like
Mhm.
because of all the like the pent up drama of the characters and
Yeah.
like we've all been so invested in them. But it certainly could have been done better. I didn't really like what they did with Riva.
Right.
And again, it sucks because the actor got a bunch of crap for it and it
Mhm.
wasn't her fault. But I just don't think that the character was that compelling and the dialogue kind of. Again, it kept popping up on my TikTok algorithm, and she would be saying lines, and I'm like, who could have made these lines sound good? They're
Yeah.
not. They're not
They're
great.
not they're not well written.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
so,
like,
it doesn't even matter. So she
anyway.
didn't deserve it. Star Wars Tales, the cartoon, Star Wars Tales of the Jedi and Star Wars Tales of the Empire.
Oh, those were great.
They ranked them 7. They ranked them above.
I mean, but again, I think we've reached now the part where like all of this is going to be pretty
it's
good,
all
but-
2 A B C D E F G.
But I really like those a lot.
Mhm.
I like those more than Visions.
They ranked Visions 1 higher.
I figured they would.
Yeah.
I think it's better, like a better product, Visions, but it doesn't contribute to the overall story of Star
No,
Wars. It's
and-
just one shots.
And Visions was fun because it was, Japanese style of Star Wars stories.
Sure, and you got different studios takes on different.
Yeah.
But
So-
again, it's just it didn't contribute.
It didn't contribute to the greater good of Star Wars, where at least with Tales from the Empire and Tales from the Jedi,
yeah.
you got more of like Ahsoka's backstory.
Yeah.
And who was the other one? Dooku's backstory. That was a good story
Yeah.
because you see why he went from good to bad.
And you get to see it's cool how they weave like the before Phantom Menace and after Phantom Menace things, and we can
Yeah.
see like him having a conversation with Qui-Gon that's clearly during the Phantom
Mhm.
Menace. I like how they've been doing
Yeah.
some of that.
Yeah,
throughout.
that was very well creatively written.
Mhm.
Ahsoka at 5, Star Wars: The Bad Batch at 4.
Complete disagree.
I enjoyed Bad Batch. I would probably put it a little bit lower. The Bad Batch was one that you did have to almost like binge watch because it didn't hold me enough to want to come back
Every week, right?
every week.
But
But
if you threw it all on at once,
you were like, wow, this is really good.
And,
Like
and I think that was my problem. Is just that,
Yeah.
like every week I watch and I'd be like, okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Skeleton Crew at 3. We both agreed Skeleton Crew was at
for
3.
sure.
And then Mandalorian at 2 and Andor at 1.
A lot of people have that opinion, and I don't disrespect that opinion.
Yeah.
I get it.
Um,
Andor, which is interesting because Andor has had 1 season now, and Mandalorian has had 3.
Yeah.
I think that if only the first season of Mandalorian was out, it'd be closer.
Yes.
Because I think that the second and I think particularly the third season, people have been less and less like interested.
And
in
it
invested.
veered away from the main idea that season 1 was
Right.
also. So then as it changes, because it had to, like you can't you have to adjust the story as it goes.
And it has to continue to grow in
Yeah.
interest and intrigue. And for everyone that might not have been, but like again, for me, seeing the Mandalorians flying around, and that was peak Star Wars
Yeah.
for me. But
Yeah.
I get it. But Andor is so completely different
Mm-hmm.
in every and I was just talking to our friend Brian about this. I always come back to that train scene when he's just sitting on the train on his way to work,
Yeah.
like talking to that random guy,
Uh-huh.
and it was just so like this you could put any situation. This could be in any place in America. Like
Right.
what doesn't have to be in Star Wars.
It's not
just
until he
good
pulls
shot,
out
yeah.
Star Wars guns
Right.
or
or a
they
blaster or they're in
blaster,
a-
or they
yeah.
match it and they mention credits instead of cash or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
When I posted our rankings on social media, so check us out over on Facebook at Bantha Milk Podcast or Instagram or anything like that.
Not X.
My one friend David wrote his ranking, and I'm pretty sure he had Andor and Mandalorian reversed. But
Yeah.
we all agreed that number 3 spot was Skeleton Crew. and then everything after that until the bottom two were for A, B, C, D, E.
Right.
So yeah, so they stole our idea. So thank you. And Star Wars night at Disneyland.
All right.
Nick, I know you really want to go to Disneyland.
I've been talking about it all day.
You have been. It's a shame Disneyland is so far away from us.
Yeah, I mean, it would take a while to walk.
Yeah, it's a long walk. And
Shorter bike ride.
driving at 55 miles an hour, you'll get there in 2.5 days.
Sure, and
Don't
you know,
speed.
biking at 22 miles an hour,
Biking at-
considerably longer.
Right. Yes. And
22 miles an hour is a fast bike ride.
that is a very fast bike ride. You're
It'd be
you're
hard-
pedaling.
It'd be hard to keep that up.
You're in the Tour de France.
Yeah,
at
for
that.
real.
Yeah. But they have the 2025 dates for Star Wars night. It starts in April. It starts on my wife's birthday, April 8th. I'm pretty sure she would love to go all the way to Disneyland for Star Wars night for her birthday.
She told me in confidence that she's hoping that's what
I
happens.
bet that's exactly what she said.
Yeah.
April 8th, 10th, 22nd, 24th, 29th, and May 1, 4, 6 are all the Star Wars nights
A lot of numbers.
at Disneyland. It is a lot of numbers. It's fun. Disneyland After Dark events typically feature specialty themes, entertainments, character meet and greets, photo ops and backgrounds, food and drinks, collectible merchandise, commemorative keepsakes, and unlimited PhotoPass digital downloads, along with select rides and shows. This one last year, in past years, it had Star Wars not included. March of the First Order, led by Captain Phasma.
Who that guy?
Girl.
That gal.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's a guy.
Everyone's
from
a
New
guy.
Jersey.
That's right.
Those
Hey, guy.
guys.
Hey, buddy. I call all the kids buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. They're like, buddy, I'm a girl. You can still be buddy.
Call everyone dude.
Everyone, dude. Appearance by Tusken Raiders. That would be fun. And Jawas. So I want to go to the Jawa audition.
I think you're a shoo-in.
You think so? That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see what they would say.
You think they'd discriminate against you?
I think they would.
I think you could have a lawsuit on your hands.
I probably, it's heightism.
Call Binder and Binder.
I'm what's the other one? There's Rand Spear, the injury
yeah,
lawyer.
That's right.
He spells his name
Demand
differently
Rand.
than me. Demand Rand.
That's right.
And they have, this one said, and Galactic Churros.
Ooh,
So
man, we're back to food now. I'm hungry
yeah,
again.
so I wonder what a galactic churro tastes like compared to a regular churro. So if you're into it,
Probably a galactic churro is a regular churro made at that park. That's my guess.
yeah, but they got to have some kind of special toppings to make it galactic churro.
I like funnel cake.
Funnel cake. So it's funny, they on all the Disney, especially like Years Up and all those, they rave about all the different churros in Disneyland.
Okay,
But we've gone to Disney World way more than Disneyland.
sure, because it's
Disney,
better.
yeah, well, it's closer. Disney World churros are garbage.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're from the same exact company.
Garbage churros.
Garbage churros in comparison. We had one. It was okay.
But if you had the Disneyland churros,
We had a Disneyland
and
churro.
it was markedly better.
It was, yes. And they say, the Ears Up people say, because, or the other podcasts I listen to, that the Disneyland churros, they go through so many of them that they're not like sitting there waiting the way they are in Disney World.
Interesting.
So they have more bake time underneath the heat lamps there, so they dry out a little bit more, so they're not nearly as good. I don't know. It could be the water,
Could be
as
the
we
water.
say. Yeah, you say water, I said water, just to make
Water.
sure they knew we were from Philly.
Wooder.
Water. Comic. Oh, so here it is. This is another one. This is one that came from. Okay, so Screen Rant had this article, but then one of the really garbagey websites had the same article, but then had everybody commenting on it about how dare you, this is ridiculous. But it's a comic book, but they're thinking that it's Star Wars new series says a lot about the franchise's vision for the New Republic. Oh no, I take that back. This says most of Star Wars shows take place during the Republic. Marvel's upcoming Star Wars series, oh, this is it, will be set years before The Mandalorian. It's very exciting that Marvel Comics is now set to publish a new series that stars Luke, Leia, and Han Solo directly as the dawn of the New Republic.
Oh, I see. People are thinking
People are thinking that's going to be a new movie with the
Right.
three of them, and they're like, "How are we going to de-age them? Carrie Fisher's dead. Blah blah blah. Don't do that. Blah."
And also, like, shut up.
Yeah,
Like,
shut
like
up.
just because the actors are old or something, like, shut up. Like,
Shut up.
we can recast
Yeah.
people have been recast when they haven't died. Like, how many Khal Drogo or freaking Dario Naharis's did they go through in Game of Thrones? Not like the guy died, right? We weren't all like, oh god, Game of Thrones. No,
Yeah.
like, just we want to see Luke. Shut up. Anyway, go
Yes.
ahead.
Anyway, and so there
They
we go.
struck a nerve, Rob.
They did. So if you want to read more about Han, Leia, and Luke,
I
new
do.
comics will be coming out with them. So check it out.
Okay, I will.
Did you hear this?
No.
Ding, 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 ding. Natalie Portman to return to the big screen in Star Wars. Did you hear about her?
No.
No. So,
The big screen.
yeah. Star Wars has built an entire franchise around exploring its established characters, especially lately. Anakin Skywalker returns in Ahsoka. And Natalie Portman's Padmé Amidala may be returning in Ahsoka.
So I just want not to be pedantic here, but the big screen would imply.
Oh, I
Movie
said big
theater.
screen. I'm sorry.
It's
I said
okay.
big screen. That was my fault. I
All right.
apologize.
I don't mean to. I don't mean
Yeah.
to editorialize.
Yeah.
Your
So
word
that
choice.
was my word choice there. I was just referring back away from comic books.
I wonder why people think I'm kind of annoying.
There,
Anyway,
I
go
don't know,
ahead.
but you're right. No, I was wrong. You're right. So Natalie Portman maybe Portman. I said Portman somehow and threw some extra letters in there.
It's okay.
Maybe returning in Ahsoka season 2. Now the question is how, because the time frames are completely
Well,
different.
I mean, it's clearly going to be a flashback.
Flashback, or they were also saying the world within worlds,
Oh, world between worlds.
world between worlds could take them.
I could see that, but I mean, we had in the first season of Ahsoka, we had Hayden Christensen de-aged and
Mhm.
like in training, and then we saw in like the last season of Clone Wars, Ahsoka attended Padme's funeral, and that was a big emotional moment for her. So it wouldn't shock me if we got to see some like flashback of her doing something. I don't know.
Yeah. So it could be a flashback, like you were saying, back to the Clone Wars era or world between worlds, but we're definitely not going to see her as a Force ghost.
Padme. Listen, they're stuck on this galaxy, in this other galaxy right now, and Thrawn just left, right? So they're stranded.
Yeah.
Maybe Padme survived.
Maybe on
And
that
she was
galaxy.
she was saying like, she lost the will to live, and she was like, name them Luke and Leia, and they're still good in him. And then they took the babies away, and she's like, finally, free of this
finally, I can
BS.
take a nap.
And she just pieced out to another galaxy.
She did, and that's what there's another horrifying Star Wars theory about Natalie Portman's return. One of Star Wars' most terrifying villains could be on the way. There's already been plenty of speculation that a terrifying Star Wars villain, Abeloth,
Yeah.
could be coming in Ahsoka season 2. Abeloth has yet to enter Star Wars canon, but the path has certainly been laid for exactly that. Abeloth was linked to the Morris gods and legends, and the Morris gods have become increasingly important, especially in Ahsoka Tano's story. Ahsoka first encountered the Morris gods in Star Wars: The Clone Wars when she, Anakin, and Obi-Wan crash land on the planet Mortis. The three Jedi then face a series of daunting trials to put them face to face with the father, the son, and the daughter. Ultimately, this event ended with Ahsoka's death, although the last of the daughter's life force was used to save Ahsoka's life. The daughter, Conver, then appeared in Star Wars seemingly as Ahsoka's protector. The Ahsoka balance, Natalie Portman's Abeloth will be a terrifying enemy. They're saying that maybe she on this other planet would be. I would love to see a Clone Wars flashback. Where
so
is
they're
it?
talking about her not coming back as Padme, but as Abeloth.
As Abeloth, as
Interesting.
Padme turning into Abeloth. I can't find the exact Force Ghost, and potentially even horrifying Luke. While Luke is a girl, well, I don't know where it is, but anyway, they're saying that maybe she could come back as Abeloth. Her character Padme would become Abeloth. All right, that's enough for the news. That's a long talking, a lot. Wow, we're already 43 minutes in.
Yeah, well, likely we're just
the next part's going to be
here, so.
pretty quick. So we'll take a quick commercial break, and then we will come back with our ranking of 8 episodes, and then call it a day.
We'll call it a night.
Call it a night.
Call it afternoon.
Depends when you're listening.
Could be anything. You never know.
You never know. It could be sunny out when you're listening to this.
Could be cloudy.
Could be cloudy.
Sunny. Snowy.
Snowy. Could be horribly cold like it is now.
Could be hot.
Could be. All right, and we're back. We're going to have to figure out how to put a commercial in there.
Oh, that was fun for me. Anyway,
so there were 8 episodes of The Skeleton Crew, and we loved it. It grew on Nick. I loved it from episode 1. So I'm going to real fast go through all the titles. Then I'm going to tell you, I don't know how we're going to do this, but I have some Rotten Tomato rankings. Maybe we'll play around with and see which ones Rotten Tomato ranked highest and lowest, and we'll see if we agree with them. Whatever. Episode 1, this could be a real adventure. Episode 2, way out past the barrier. That's when they meet Jod. Episode 3, very interesting as an astrological problem. A mysterious stranger offers to help out our heroes. Episode 4, can't say I remember no at Adam. Episode 5, you have a lot to learn about pirating, or about pirates, I should say. Episode 6, zero friends again. Episode 7, we're going to be in so much trouble. And then episode 8, the real good guys. So those are the 8 episodes. According to IMDb, I'll give you all IMDb's ratings, and then we'll go over to Rotten Tomatoes, and we'll see if we agree with Rotten Tomatoes ratings. Episode 8 got a 7.9 out of 10. Episode 7 got a 7.9 out of 10. Episode 6, 7.5 out of 10. Episode 5, you have a lot to learn about pirates. 8. That got an 8 out of 10. This is the one. I can't say I remember no at Aden. Was a 6.9 out of 10 when our heroes face a surprise in a familiar setting. That's the one that they were on the other planet just like theirs.
Right.
And we learned so much about our little buddy, Neil.
Right.
And they didn't like it as much. Very interesting as an astrological problem. 7.7. Episode 3. Episode 2 got a 7.6. Way out past the barrier. And episode 1, 7.3. This could be a real adventure.
Okay.
So, according to IMDb,
I think I agree with their top one. Right? They said you have a lot to learn about pirates, or else can't say remember no at Atten, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna be in so much trouble. 7. Yeah, you have a lot to learn about pirates. Got an 8.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one
that's the highest one. That was the real Goonies one.
That's the one that was right after the kids, the one with the kid army, and that's the one
right.
that
The Kid Army was the one that got a
was
6.9.
yeah, and that's the one that I liked. But again, you're right; it was more like a character study on Neil.
Yeah.
And it was more, which I think is good, but I could see why, there wasn't as much intrigue in the overall. But I think episode 5, or I'm sorry,
Yeah, episode 5 is the highest one.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite.
All right, you have a lot to learn about pirates. Was the highest one, and then the Neil one was the cutest one, but not that it didn't go anywhere because it did set up a lot of Chekhov's guns for the finale because Neil then ran up to the top of the building. All right, so where's the ratings here for? I'm on Rotten Tomatoes now, and Rotten Tomatoes, tomato meter, 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 80% popcorn meter. So I don't know which is which. Which one's the ratings?
There's a lot of different ratings. It's confusing.
Yeah, so there are a lot of different ratings. I'm very confused about all the
Apparently,
ratings.
there's a lot of ratings.
Apparently, there's a lot of ratings. All right, so cast and crew episodes. Episode 1. We have to go. Okay, episode 1 got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's a pretty good score.
That is a pretty good score. Can we just jump to episode? Here we go. Episode 1. Let's see. If episode 5, you have a lot to learn about pirates on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you think it's higher or lower than episode 1?
My guess would be higher.
You would be wrong. It was an 86.
Interesting.
Yes. All right.
I disagree.
I disagree as
I
well.
think Rotten Tomatoes are a bunch of crooks.
They are crooks. They're just trying to get our money. That's
they're
what they're
paid for shills, bought out by the man.
That's right.
And the man just wants Star Wars to be bogged down.
That's right. So IMDb for season 1, episode 4, I can't remember. No, adding got a 6.9. So if you were to turn that to a percentage, that would be 69%. 69.
Well done.
Thank you. Did it get higher or lower Rotten Tomato score than IMDb score? So 6.9 IMDb score.
Higher.
Higher is correct. 75% on Rotten Tomato for that episode as well. Um, let's go all the way to episode 8. Episode 8, IMDb score 7.9. Rotten Tomatoes score.
Hmm.
This is
I'm gonna
interesting.
say lower.
I don't know how this is possible.
I'm excited about it.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, these are the tomato.
He's keeping us on the edge of our seats.
It is keeping us on the edge of our seats. It only has 7 reviews. How is that possible?
You should go on there and give it a review.
I should. 7 reviews, 100% Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so all 7 people
As
said
far
it
as
was
percentages
phenomenal.
go, that's one of the better ones.
That is one of the better ones.
Yeah.
That is one of the better ones. All right, so let's see. Can we say like which is our favorite episode? Do you have a favorite episode?
Honestly, I do think that you have a lot to learn about pirates is my favorite.
Okay.
That being said, the last half of the season I love.
Yeah.
Or so like, but like that one, it's just like things just everything seemed to click. Like
It was very Goonies.
yeah, we met
The whole thing was very Goonies.
down to like that weird giant Cathalops guy that we met with the tentacles in the bath. Like
yeah,
that
he
was
could have been Chunk. He could have been like Chunk. Yeah.
I don't know that was where for me it was a turning point. Like you said, I liked 1, 2, 3, and 4. There was a lot. It was rising action, lots of just setting things up.
Right.
And there was stuff that happened that kept me intrigued about Jod. I was intrigued by his character. Um, sorry, man, I'm old. But like nothing really like, and Smee, I like SM33. I really loved, and I
Yeah.
loved him. So like he was very exciting when we met him. But until we got to, for me, episode 5, a lot of it was just kind of moments, and then episode 5 happened, and it just felt like the rest of the season was just things happening, and it like a non like 80s movies were like big adventures where crap just always happened.
Yeah, I think same thing. Like if I had to rate one the lowest, I would probably say the Neil episode, the one that everybody else is
Right.
saying is pretty low. Or lower, even though they're still very good scores.
Right.
But yeah, I'm happy they released episodes 1 and 2 together, because if they would have just done episode 1, it really needed episode 2 to really make you want to come back.
Right.
So I'm happy that they gave you both episodes together, and then that like arc episodes 1, 2, and 3. Then you think that they're going home, and it's like, wait, there's no way they're going home already
Right.
in the third episode. So that was a good build up, like you said. And then I did enjoy 6 and 7, or 5, 6, and 7, because they really had a good whole arc together. The Goonies whole episode, and then how okay, now we're in episode 6. Now we're stuck on this planet. How are we going to get off? Oh, we're going to get off. Nope, we're not getting off. Our ship is about to be eaten by a giant trash monster. And then we break out of that, and then
that's also what I used to be called, as giant trash monster.
it was, yes, yeah, that was
middle school was a hard
middle
time
school
for
was
me.
a hard time for you. And then I did enjoy the Zero Friends Again episode, because KD got a good story arc where she was dying, her power was leaving her, and she was very sad and depressed. And then at the end of it, she's like,
Oh, good.
"Oh, I can get us home.
Let's go."
I know the coordinates." Beep, 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 boop, 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 and boom,
And
she
then
saves the day.
And then Wim got his little moment of heroics.
Yeah,
like, oh, I actually saved someone.
I saved someone. I did something good. And we also, episode 8 was great because Wim learned which way is up on the lightsaber.
It's probably the most important
Yes,
lesson to learn. Lightsaber doodling.
That's like that meme of Luke holding the lightsaber like. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was phenomenal season. It was a very good episode. I'm very happy with the writers of this. They did a very good job of writing this, where the Acolyte writers, we felt, didn't do a good job of writing it, because it could have been so much more. We read the High Republic books. You could have just gotten close to that, and instead you're doing something all. I understand why you're doing something off on your own, but it was not as good idea as what we had.
Yeah, I think it seems to boil down to like good characters.
Uh-huh.
Like I liked the Acolyte's story, but the only really good character I can think of was the bad guy.
Right. And I
Like,
like the young girl Jedi. I don't know
yeah, I
what
forget her
species she
name
was. She
too.
was like
The one who got
whitish. Yeah.
killed
Yeah.
like immediately during, well, not immediately,
Not
but like in the
immediately, but
fight.
yeah.
Um, but like, yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of investment in any of the other characters
No.
except for like the one from what's her name from the High Republic of Vernestra Rowe.
Hmm.
But they vastly underused her.
Yeah.
It's like they were banking on a season 2,
Right.
and they're like, oh, she's going to be great next
Yeah,
season.
like everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, she has a light whip,"
Right.
and used it once,
Yep.
and that was the end of it. We saw one time,
But again, that to me screams, hey, you saw this. Wait till you see what we do with the next season.
right?
And
And unfortunately, it
you need to
wasn't.
prove you need a second season.
Yeah,
You know,
which is weird because this one proved that it could have a second season, but it's like, okay, but like I've said so many times, with the kids getting older and stuff like
right.
that, like, what would the second season be? Are they going to age it, or are they going
I
to,
feel like they'd have to.
yeah, or are they just going to pretend that the
But
kids don't age?
if they are able to bring it back, I feel like it's a good opportunity for them to like let some time pass in the story and pick it up later. Because
Yeah,
like
the
as of right now, there's nothing for them to do. The story is over. Like they put a bow on it.
mm-hmm.
There's no loose ends they left. They saved the day. I mean, there's some stuff to figure out with like the droid being dead, but like they're back on their planet.
Yeah,
It would make sense for them to like hang out for a while.
yeah. It would be neat, I think, if like we jump when we get back in the the planet's fixed. It's all fixed. Like we don't need to see the repair
Right.
process. Maybe what's her name? The lead girl, the leader of the group,
Burn.
Fern's mom is now like the mayor or
Right.
governor, whatever you want to call it, of the town of the planet.
Let's call her Grand Vizier.
Grand Vizier.
Not?
Why
Seems
not?
better.
Yeah. And the X-wings know, like we saw the rebel blockade runners show up, so it's not like they're going to be hiding from the galaxy
Right.
anymore.
Yeah, it's cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, cat's out of the bag now. So now they're part of the galaxy. But the thing is, now the Republic now has all this gold.
Right.
But when we watch the movies that come after this, there's no sense that they did anything with this gold type of thing.
Right.
So it's like,
Well, I feel like we're always running into the problem of how poorly the sequels were written
yeah,
at this point. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like everything, like they can do whatever they want, but at the end of the day,
But also just because they're now like piecing in this new fact.
right.
So it's like, how are you going to piece in this new fact of all of this gold
Right.
into, like, how are they going to use it or whatever? So
Thankfully, they pay someone a lot more than they pay us to
that's
figure that
right.
out.
To think about that, they probably pay a couple.
Have you
of
gotten
people.
your Disney royalties recently?
I have not.
Mm-mm.
Kathleen Kennedy needs to shell over some of our ducats here.
Get on it. All right.
So, all right. Well, that's pretty much it. It was
did
it
it.
was a great season, a very good season.
We made it to the end of Skeleton Crew.
I
We
liked
did it,
it a
guys.
lot. We got
Mission
to the end.
accomplished.
Yes.
Let's hope there's a season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. But
Andor season 2 is coming out soon.
Is
What
it
is it?
soon?
March.
Okay, I like that. I was just gonna say we're going into another like lull here, but I guess we got maybe a month or 2.
Andor season 2 release date. Let's see what TV Guide says. The second and final season of the prestigious Star Wars series is coming up quickly. The wait for season 2 has been pretty exciting. It's already been 2 years since season 1 ended, but unfortunately, Andor season 2 premiere date April 22nd. So
Okay.
we have a little bit of time, but with the new episodes dropping weekly, season 2 will have 12 episodes, just like season 1 did.
Good. That's a little more than 8.
Yes, I love it. That is a little bit more than 8. I'm looking to see if they say, it doesn't say in here. I'm pretty sure before they did, like, episodes 1 and 2 came out together, and then like 6 and 7 or
Right.
7 and 8 came out at the same time. So they brought it down from 12
To
weeks
10,
to
right,
10
yeah.
weeks or something like that. So yeah, so we'll have to do a little preview before then and all the other good stuff. But yeah, so we have till April for that. But
Yeah. In the meantime, stay tuned. I may or may not have a kid by the next time we're on the
Yes,
well, I have a kid, but another kid.
you'll have a second one before April. That's for sure.
Oh boy, is it? Yep, my wife is pregnanter than pregnant gets. Well, that's not true. She's pretty pregnant. She's very pregnant. She's at the point in her pregnancy where she does not want to be pregnant anymore, which
Right.
is actually pretty soon after you get pregnant. But it's been a while. Anyway,
Imagine if she had twins or triplets in there. Then she'd really
be
want.
miserable.
Yes.
Thank God she doesn't.
Thank God she
They can
doesn't.
tell that stuff. Don't you put that thought in my head, Ricky Bobby.
There's cameras. They can tell if
Yeah.
there's another kid in there or not.
You just like it doesn't matter though.
Ricky Bobby's twins in there.
That's right. Little 3 pound 6 ounce baby
Uh-huh.
Jesus. Wrapped in 3 pound 6 ounce.
That's a
baby,
real
baby
real
Jesus.
tiny baby. Yeah.
That's a Jesus that needs the NICU. Anyway, now that we've done that, yeah. Anything else?